Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, Fabulites. This is Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous. You all one word. I got a question for you. What opens with Miss Gigi sneaking in, getting caught by her daughter, and what closes with her daughter offering and suggesting that we pray for a preacher who doesn't believe in prayer? If you guess Greenleaf season 2 episode 5, point of no return, you are correct. If you would love to stick around, or just like to stick around, or just willing to stick around for my review, my recap, please do like, hit the thumbs up button, comment, and subscribe, and share. Woo, y'all, I just did the review for Underground, so it's kind of like I'm a little bit emotional and just, did you see Underground? Go watch Underground. Okay. In the first season of Greenleaf, Miss Gigi was caught sneaking in by her mama, and now she getting caught sneaking in by her daughter. Woo! And it was another last year. It was another guy too. So, point of no return, there's a point. The only two I could think of offhand were with the divorce that baby girl and questioning Kev. They've decided to get a divorce. Baby girl ends up mentioning it to her mom, who mentions it to this lawyer guy, who then mentions it to Kevin. So Kevin hasn't even told anybody, doesn't even know they doing that now. And it's coming back to him through some random person that I don't even think he hardly really knows, asking him if he got a lawyer. And I was kind of wondering during that scene, this is a little off the subject, but I'm like, is that guy on the down low? Is he trying to hit on questioning Kev? I mean, I was just wondering. And then the other thing that's kind of a point of no return is with Jacob, baby boy, the only son of the Greenleafs. He kind of has an interaction with his father and with the church. And, I think he had already been, kind of stepping forward. But perhaps he has reached the point of no return. He can't go back to where he was. So that's the title for what I got. Look, I'm stuttering. So Pastor Jacob, baby boy Greenleaf, Triumph 2 minister, is having issues in his new rectory. He had been having problems. He's been calling the handyman for the Greenleaf mansion to handle it. His wife is like, we need to call the landlord, Pastor Triumph 1, Basie Skanks, and his wife to handle this. This is their property, and the husband Jacob doesn't want any confrontation. I guess he don't want no problem. They trying to fix it themselves. They trying to read the instructions. So that kind of is where we are at the beginning with them. He gets a call from Skanks while he's trying to fix the electrical system. It seemed like the whole house need to be rewired, maybe, perhaps, I don't know, I'm just saying. And Basie Skanks is like, tell me you didn't know about this. Jacob is like, I didn't know about it. What? And Basie Skanks is like, they got an injunction, 28 days. And Jacob is like, oh. And Skanks is like, we about to go over to the church Calvary right now, and we gonna handle this once and for all. We gonna deal with the bishop man to man, and we about to handle this. Meanwhile, Clarissa is her name, is the child's name Clarissa, but First Lady Jacob, Triumph 2, the teacher, principal lady, Zora's mama, is like, life is a fight. And she's talking specifically about, dealing with, addressing head on the fact that, this place that they're living at is not quite livable for them. We see Lady May showing Aaron Jeffrey, who's Lionel's son, the attorney, who's kind of taking the place of her son in the house. She's showing him the Greenleaf mansion, and she's lamenting that her very own son, Jacob, has just left all of this with no appreciation. And she also mentions that protecting this house is our first priority. So if the church go down, whatever, we have to protect this house. We have to keep the church going to protect this house. And I don't think that she means the actual edifice. I think she means her family. I don't know why, but I love Lady May. I just, in the way that the actress, I'm blanking on her name, but she just, oh, it's like, it's the subtle turn of phrase, it's an expression, it's body language. Okay, so we see baby girl Charity with questioning Kev. They talking about the divorce. He's concerned about whether he's going to get to see the baby. She like, of course, you always can see your child whenever you want to. Divorce doesn't have anything to talk about that, have anything to do with that. But we're going to talk about those details tonight, telling people and all of this other stuff. We see Gigi with her daughter, and her daughter is like, well, Mom, have you ever thought about just praying for Mac? And the mom is like, yeah, I've thought about that. And when I do, I look at you, and then I get out there and I keep fighting. I get back to work. As long as Mac is free, little girls like you are not free. You are not safe. He is a danger to girls like you, says Gigi. And then there's another scene where she's talking to, where Gigi is talking to her assistant, and her assistant is like, girl, when my daughter got baptized, it was like the season of righteousness. So get ready, because you about to have that with Sophia. Miss Sophia done got baptized. She about to get righteous up in here. Oh, that was my notes. Chillax, boo-boo. You want me to move this? Okay. So Skanks burst into Pastor Bishop Daddy's office, and his character is so funnily written, and he acts it so well. At some point, he like, did you break your son's toys when he was a child? I mean, what kind of father are you? And they gonna post up. And Pastor Daddy is like, well, you can post up if you want to, but it's going to be at least 28 days. You know, y'all can stay, just sit in y'all can sit up in here for 28 days if you want to. And he was concerned about getting them out of the way before the meeting with the deacons. And I was kind of like, it's a big enough space. They could sit up anywhere. They could have their meeting anywhere. It ain't like it's a small space, and them, being there, two people sitting in is going to be disruptive. Don't nobody care about them, but Pastor Daddy does and Lady May does. So we see Gigi in her office, a couple that she's going to marry, perform the marriage ceremony for. She's been doing premarital counseling with them and for them. They're in her office. They're fighting. The wife is upset because they have had a discussion about whether to send their children to secular schools or religious schools. And she feels like, obviously, they have to go to religious schools. What they going to learn in secular schools? How to be homosexuals? I mean, are you a Christian or not? She's asking her husband, her fiance, her husband to be. I mean, what kind of bull is this? I don't even know why there's a question. I mean, and it takes, in order to get the children, and then Gigi is like, well, are you all pregnant? And the mama, the fiance is like, no, I'm not pregnant. But you have a waiting list of 4 or 5 years to get them into the good schools. And this is very serious, and we are not suited for each other. And Gigi is like, well, we're 8 minutes away from the rehearsal dinner. I don't think we're going to be able to resolve this before then. So let's just go on to the dinner, and I promise you we'll get back to it. And I have the utmost confidence that Miss Gigi is going to resolve everything. She got a plan. She got a strategy, and it's going to work. Okay, so they go on to their rehearsal dinner. And then we see baby girl Charity and Jabari, and he's saying that you should be doing this professionally. He knows people writing music, I think. He knows people who don't have none of the talent that she got, and they make hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars a year at it. And she should come to Nashville. She's like, well, I just did this for the church. This is just for fun. I'm not trying to do this as a professional. And he's like, baby girl Charity, you are good. And, she's thanking him. Oh, thank you for your encouragement. And, you've just helped me believe in myself and feel good about myself. I don't know what she's saying, but their body language is very intimate. And then they hug. And then Lady May walks in. And Lady May looks just as shocked as I feel. And she, he leaves, Jabari leaves. And Lady May says, you got to be careful. Take it from a woman who knows. Mm-hmm. And then I think that at this point, that's when baby girl Charity decides to tell her mother, look, I know this looks a certain way and you don't know this, but me and questioning Kev are getting a divorce. Her mama don't know he's questioning. She just know he's Kev. And earlier on, I think she had called him Kevy. So that's like she's close to him. She likes him. And the mother says, I wish I had written it down, but she says marriage, you can bend it. You can bend it until it's all knotted like a pretzel or knotted like whatever, but you can't break it. So don't break it. Don't just break it casually. I want y'all to sit down with me and your daddy before you move forward. And baby girl Charity says okay. And I agree with that advice. I think that through my one divorce and my 2 marriages, I think that a lot of times we need help and we need support from other people, especially people who love us. And she says, Lady May, you never want sadness like this for your children, but it comes. But y'all, she says it so beautifully and so poignantly. I just believe her, and it's just, it's like heartbreaking. I think that, so we're back with Basie Skanks, and, oh no, not Basie Skanks, but, the lawyer, Aaron, is his name, Aaron, and he says to Pastor Daddy, Bishop, Reverend Daddy Bishop, that, one thing that the devil cannot brook is being ignored. Basically, they could have a sit-in if they want to, just ignore their behinds. And the bishop is like, yeah. But then, I think what happens is that he runs into Lady May, and Lady May is like, I want them out of here. I just do whatever you have to do to get them out of here. So, they end up negotiating with, the devil. But they're not really the devil. Are they? Maybe they are the devil. I don't know. And then there's this situation where we see Basie Skanks talking to baby Jacob Greenleaf, Triumph 2 pastor, and he asked him, Basie Skanks asked him, are you a pastor or not? And Jacob is like, yeah, sort of, kind of, he seemed kind of wimpy about the whole thing to me. And that's kind of how he seemed all along. He don't seem to have that like for surety or that passion. It's like he's fallen into this situation, and I feel for him. And he's trying to make the best of it, but I don't know. But he says, his Basie Skank says, are you a pastor or not? Then fight for your church. And they having to sit in Pastor Daddy's office. And then Lady May comes in and she asks her son, well, how's the hot water heater? And Skanks is kind of like, huh? Because he don't know nothing about the hot water heater. See, baby Jacob, Pastor Jacob, baby Greenleaf, Triumph 2 minister is here cavorting with his mama and his daddy. But they're the enemy, right? Sort of, kind of, in a way. My mother says he should have never taken a job at the church across the street. And I said, it's not a church across the street. And when he took the job, it was not to be a minister. He was into athletics. He was trying to be a sports minister. And it's just turned into this. It's a slippery slope that he's just kind of falling down. But I don't think he set out to be in no battle with his daddy. I think he's been trying to get along with his daddy and get his daddy's love and acceptance all his life. Okay, so this is something totally unrelated, except for that it is related because it's the Greenleafs. That little baby is so cute. Baby Kevin's baby, Charity and Kevin's baby. That's a cute little baby. So we have First Lady Skanks coming to the door of baby boy Pastor Jacob Triumph 2's house with Carissa, whatever her name is. And she is so cute with her little denim outfit and her red toolbox. And she's just funny. And she's trying to engage with First Lady Clarissa. And First Lady Clarissa is not feeling it. But she does call her a princess when she walks in. And I was kind of offended too. I mean, is she a princess because she wants livable conditions? I mean, I haven't really heard her bitch and complain. She did say at the beginning of this, just when I thought I couldn't get worse, it gets worse. But she seems to be trying to make the best of a good situation. But as it goes on, if you can't have your refrigerator going and, a blender going, and it's 2017, it might be an issue. I'm just saying. Bella, chillax, relax yourself. Yeah, you the pooda. But she is so serious. You hear that dog? And then the first lady Skank says, I won't deny it. I do have a streak of crazy. And she has a streak of crazy. Everybody has a little streak of crazy in this. Baseball, Skanks and Jacob have that in common. I don't know what that means. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Oh, Skanks tells the story about when he was a kid and his daddy got him a baseball uniform, and then the next day his daddy died. His mama came in with the hot cocoa and, said that, his father there was a fire in the church and his father didn't make it out. And I think that's when he says that he won't deny it. He does have a little streak of crazy. Chillax, relax yourself. So he says that God, Jacob asked him, God told you to drag my daddy down? And Basie Skank says, no, God told me to lift you up. And ooh, that just kind of touched me, because I feel like Jacob needs something. He needs something. And I'm not really clear. I think that it's a really good job of writing and characterization and everything, because I feel like his father is kind of hard on him. But is his father being hard on him to help him to grow up and become a man and stand on his own and find his passion? Or is his father just like, you ain't Gigi, you ain't shit? I mean, I can't, everybody seems in their own way like such nice, good people to me, even though they got issues. I'm rooting for everybody. I was rooting for you. So we're back to the rehearsal dinner. This is the couple that Gigi is supposed to be performing the marriage ceremony for. At the rehearsal dinner, when Gigi is like, okay, this is what's going to happen now. This is going to happen now. Okay, so this is when you would recite your vows. Go ahead and recite your vows now. And the man is like, you want me to recite my vows now? She's like, yeah, unless you want it to be a secret. I'm like, Gigi, that's your plan. Get them to recite them vows. Then they be feeling how they feel about each other. And they can put this argument in perspective. Homeboy starts reciting the vows, and homegirl, the fiance, is like, you don't believe that. I can't do this. I'm not marrying you. And it's like it goes downhill. I mean, what I thought was just going to be a wonderful plan and situation is not. And it turns out that the woman, who seems to be very high strung, and I think getting married can bring out, the tension, that marriage ceremony, that wedding can stress people out. But she definitely seems stressed out. But she's like, she didn't want Gigi to be performing her ceremony anyway. She wanted her daddy, Bishop Pastor Daddy, to be performing the ceremony, because he done performed ceremonies for people in her family before. Some of them ceremonies people still be talking about. And plus, what kind of minister, what kind of preacher, what kind of pastor is Gigi to get the call from the Lord and then just walk away? How could a preacher do that? She said, you never would have been my choice. Never. Woo, it kind of hurt my feelings. So I guess that's a point of no return and no going back too. I don't know. Because, I'd imagine, I've only been through my personal weddings. I've never been with anybody right before a wedding when they freaked out. But I think that if you're in the business, people react all different kinds of ways. So some people probably react. So maybe it's not a point of no return for them. But it seemed like it was kind of a hurtful situation for Gigi. It hurt my feelings for her. And then we see Carissa, Jacob's wife, Zora's mama. She's like, am I a princess? She gets upset. She mad now because I only have 2 outlets in the kitchen, and having a safe home for my family is not being a princess. So she goes off on the woman, and then they end up kind of coming together, coming together. And the first lady, Skanks, is like, oh, I don't know what we're going to do about money, but that's going to come later. I don't know. My notes are kind of janky, probably trying to keep up with the show and take notes at the same time. But Lady May mentions during this sit-in situation that she has been paying Stan's invoice. Stan is the handyman for the Greenleaf mansion who only boy Jacob, Triumph 2, Pastor Greenleaf has been calling to come over to his rectory that the skanks are the landlords of, or that church is the landlord of, to handle problems. So his mama has been paying the invoices, and she brings that up when he's trying to have the sit-in. Like, you better go sit in someplace else because I've been paying these invoices for you. And his wife had said, your mother is not, this is not just a gift. It's going to come back to bite us in the behind. And then here it comes. I don't know who says this. We both lost our fathers that night. It took me a little while longer to realize that I had. That's what Pastor Jacob is saying to, to Skanks and to his father. And he said, and they have this in the preview. And when I saw it in the preview, I was like, oh, it kind of broke my heart and hurt me a little bit. And I didn't even get the notes real good this time. But that thing where he says, you are going to mourn the pride you could have felt in me, and all you had was pity. Oh, I want the Father and the Son to be united. I want everybody to be happy. But this drama, and it doesn't just, one thing about this show is it doesn't just feel like gratuitous drama, like drama for no reason. It's like, it seems like legit and sincere. And Pastor Jacob says, Pastor Jacob Triumph 2 says, you can't raise me up any higher, but I can still grow up. So he done with his daddy. And he don't know how this is going to end. Then the wife of Basie Skanks, she's like, I don't know how this is all going to end, First Lady Skanks. The money, the side deals, all that Basie is putting into this. And Clarissa's like, huh, what? And then the First Lady kind of realizes that she probably said too much. And she's like, oh, it's just the money. I don't know. You know how men are. And, so we see there's something going on. And she's trying to cover it up. All throughout the episode, we've seen about 2 or 3 or 4 scenes where Aaron Jeffries is trying to record his message, his voicemail message for his office, or his voicemail at Calvary Church. Calgary. Y'all, I'm having some issues with names and words today. I thought that whole thing was funny. Every time we see him trying to record, somebody interrupts him. So this is when he mentions to Questioning Cab that Lady May told him that you and Charity may be getting a divorce. Do you have a lawyer yet? We see the board of directors meeting. We see back at Pastor Jacob's house and First Lady Clarissa, Zora's parents, that they're having dinner. It's a candlelight dinner. She said she had to choose between lights or dinner, and she went with dinner. And he's like, I knew I chose the right woman to be my wife. Then we see Lady May bringing Aaron Jeffries a pastry, and it's a grapefruit pound cake, which sounds actually quite interesting. But she says that his mother was really creative, and hers could never be as good as his mother's is. And I didn't know if she was being very sweet or truthful. She's so shady, Lady May. I don't be knowing what to make of her, but she's so slick and smooth with it. He says to her, after they kind of go back and forth, oh, the pound cake is good, thank you, blah, blah, blah. He says, I'll never tell anyone about you and my dad. What would be the point? So I don't know if she knew that he knew about her and the dad, but apparently he does. And now she knows that he knows. The daughter is like, what's up with this wedding? I want to come to the wedding for my, now that I got baptized, I'm taking these classes on Christianity. I have to come evaluate a sermon. I'm going to come evaluate your sermon. I might as well, for this wedding thing. And the mama is like, well, you can read the sermon, but the wedding isn't happening. And the girl is like, oh my gosh, the wedding's been canceled. And, well, can we pray for them? I want them to get married. And the pastor is like, well, I don't think prayer is going to work. And then the daughter is like, well, let's pray for you. Because a pastor who doesn't believe in prayer and the power of prayer could use some. So that was the end. I don't know. My thing says 4 out of 5, but I don't know where page 5 is. So we just gonna go with that. I really enjoy Greenleaf. Thank you, Own. BU. Thanks for watching, listening. What did you think? What did you enjoy? What was your favorite thing? What are you shocked about? What are you questioning? Put it in the comments down below. Be you, be fabulous you. See you later.